Hey everybody, what's going on? My name is Braylon, and today I'm sitting here to talk to you about the Gemini full moon. This is going to be my Gemini full moon video, guys. So as always, I have a little bit of notes. I have the logic here, the intellect, things that we need to talk about. But I'm also just going to channel a few things, guys, about this full moon. And see what's going on for all the 12 zodiac signs. At the end of the video, I will be pulling 12 cards for each of the, well, one card for each of the zodiac signs, and I'm just going to use regular tarot for this video, guys. So it'll be cool to see what's going on for all of us energetically and how we're going to be affected by this full moon. So, I'm not sure if all of you know, or, there could be still some people who don't know what full moons really symbolize. But to me, every month we have a full moon, okay? And this is an amazing opportunity to complete a cycle, okay? Every full moon represents a completion of a cycle. And yeah, we have a full moon every month. We have a new moon every month. And every full moon is an opposition as well, guys. So every zodiac sign has an opposite, right? So Gemini and Sagittarius are opposite signs. The sun is now in Sagittarius, and Gemini would be the opposite sign of that. So whenever we have Sagittarius season, guys, there's always a full moon in Gemini, okay? So let's talk a little bit about Gemini energy and what this full moon actually could bring to our universe. The full moon actually happened really, I would say late. Some people are saying early. I think it happened around 1 a.m. my time, maybe around midnight. But one thing I did want to mention, guys, is that this energy is extremely potent. It's extremely magical is what I mean by potency. It's like a portal, okay? I cannot refrain from thinking about how portal-like Gemini and Sagittarius are. I've always thought Gemini and Sagittarius represent some kind of timeline or portal thingy like that. And then as I got into astrology a couple years back, I noticed more and more astrologers were, referring to Gemini and Sagittarius as portals. So some of you guys might not know what that means, but there's portals everywhere, right? Time portals, dimension portals, energy portals, just zodiac portals. So I'm not going to get too much into that, guys, because it's more of a magical thing. Either you get it or you don't. But I definitely feel as if this Gemini full moon is very much like a gateway, very much like a doorway, okay? So if you don't really understand the concept of portals, they're basically just invisible doorways, I would say. And the reason why Gemini and Sagittarius represent that is, for one, because they're mutable signs, the 3rd house and the 9th house. And this full moon, I believe, happened at 0 degrees, okay? It happened very early, like the sun just went into Sagittarius, and then the moon had just went into Sagittarius, moon just went into Gemini. We had a full moon right after Thanksgiving, so crazy times, right? But I feel like this full moon, there's just something about air sign full moons or new moons. I just noticed every time the moon is in an air sign, it's just a lighter energy. Air is very wispy. It's the sword cards in tarot. So communication and thoughts, that's what's coming up with this Gemini energy. And what I was going to mention, guys, is that if any of you were lucky enough to be aware and conscious during the full moon opposition, when the moon was at 0 degrees Gemini, that is extremely relevant and important, and you're lucky, because I'm always on top of the moons and things like that. But for some reason, I checked with the planets and the moon was already at, like, I don't know, 7 degrees Gemini or something like that. So time just kind of escaped me. I'm not sure if it's because the moon is squaring Pisces, and I'm a Pisces. But this moon was extremely magical. Like, it happened very quickly is what I'm trying to say. And that's what portals, they're open and then they're closed, okay? But when a portal opens and closes, I feel like it affects everything around it, okay? So our dimension is a little bit different now than what it was before the Gemini full moon. We haven't had a Gemini full moon in a year, guys. We only get one full moon a year in Gemini. And so Gemini energy is a mutable air, okay? Mutable air. Anytime that we have a full moon in a mutable sign, so Pisces, Sagittarius, Gemini, or Virgo, we're going to have a new moon in Sagittarius next month, early December probably. But mutable energies represent change. They represent magic for sure. And the change within magic, the change that magic brings along with it. And magic is always changing, right? Magic is literally, the point of magic is to change your reality, or to change something at will, or whatever. So yeah, mutable signs have a magical essence to them, guys. And it's all about adaptability. So Gemini is the mutable air sign. We only got one mutable air sign, and it's Gemini. I'm a huge fan of Geminis. Geminis are all about communication. In my opinion, Gemini is one of the most intellectual zodiac signs that we have, being ruled by Mercury, which is another good point to bring up, guys. This full moon, you know, it's going to be a little bit rough. You know, it happened right after, well, you know, I'm not sure who celebrates what, but Thanksgiving and Black Friday, full moon going on right all around all that energy. Okay, so we just want to be really careful, especially when Gemini is ruled by Mercury and Mercury is retrograde. This full moon opposes Jupiter. It opposes Mercury. Okay, so it opposes the sun, of course. Every full moon is an opposite of the sun. And if you guys are wondering why I look up like that, I'm just looking out my window. And I just like to kind of talk and just get lost in the words that I'm saying. But yeah, that's why I'm looking up and stuff like that. I'll try to look at you guys a little bit more because it's kind of awkward. But yeah, guys, this is a mutable, like I said, a mutable full moon. And anytime a moon is full in a mutable sign, then it brings a lot of change and completion to our universe. It's different than when the moon would be full in a cardinal sign. It's different than if a moon would be full in a fixed sign. Okay, I believe that we want to look into all these energies to kind of see a little bit more about what this Gemini full moon has to offer. But like I said, it was a very quick full moon. Although full moon energies don't just come and go. 3 days before the full moon, the day of the full moon, and 3 days after the full moon. So for the next couple of days until around I would say the 25th or the 26th, that's when these energies are going to kind of lighten up. But to be really honest with you guys, all the way up until the full moon in Cancer, which was, I believe, would be an eclipse next month, since the North Node is now in Cancer. So full moon to full moon, okay, the energy is going to kind of linger and be about until the next full moon takes its initiation. And this is going to be the full moon in Cancer, which, wowza, that's going to be a different story because Cancer rules the moon. So basically, guys, you know, air energy, communication energy. So I feel like communication, there might be a lot of endings and beginnings because we talk about full moons bringing things to completions and cycles. So this might be a time to really be communicating and discussing and maybe doing some heavy thinking on the cycles that have completed in our life, you know, communicating that. Gemini rules the lower mind, okay, and it's opposite of the higher mind in Jupiter, and Jupiter is the higher mind, and then Sagittarius represents the expansion of that thought. So, you know, we also want to incorporate the sun in Sagittarius along with this message, okay, because this could not be a full moon without the sun in Sagittarius. So we're really working with the Sagittarius Gemini opposition around this time, which is a complete and utter portal, which is why I feel that I completely missed the full moon. Okay, I usually do a spiritual burning every full moon, and I'm actually going to go outside tonight while the moon is still in Gemini to burn my full moon paper. But geez, you know, I couldn't believe that. I couldn't believe that. I looked down and the moon was like, I didn't realize how quick this full moon, you know, the sun is 0 degrees Sagittarius, the Gemini full moon at 0 degrees. A 0 degrees is actually, it's a really important degree. My moon, I was born when the moon was in 0 degrees Taurus, so I know all about moons being at 0 degrees. As far as our emotions, we can talk a bit about that. The moon symbolizes our emotions, so this could be in kind of, what am I thinking of? This involves and combines the combination of emotion and intellect. Gemini is an air sign. So, you know, air signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, they can be a little bit detached. So the moon, I wouldn't say is super comfortable in air signs or earth signs. But the moon has its powers in all these elements. So this is about emotional intellect. And it's mutable energy, so it's about being able to mentally process and adapt to the emotional changes going on with this full moon. So it's really interesting. Full moon in the 3rd house of our universe, okay, so our lower minds. Also, I did want to mention that this is short distance travel. So if any of you guys, you know, it is the holidays, so we are doing traveling. Some of us are doing some long distance travel, which would be Sagittarius. and others of us are doing some short distance traveling, which would be Gemini. So this is all about traveling, you know, which is another, like, time travel is what it feels like. That's what I felt like when I seen that the moon had already passed 00 degrees, which is a very critical point for new beginnings and endings. So this full moon, guys, it's like, you know, I'm not sure if it's because it's just a mutable sign or if it's because it squares Pisces, but it's very matter of fact, okay? I'm even talking a bit faster. I figured that this video probably wouldn't be as long as my other videos, but we don't want to speak too soon. Most of my videos wind up being about an hour long or something like that. But that's what I like about Gemini is people say Gemini is distracted and stuff like that. And I can understand why, because they just execute every thought. You know, it's Mercury. Every thought Gemini has, it's mutable, okay? So there's this thought and then it's executed. There's this thought and then it's executed. And I like that because I'm a beat around the bush kind of person. But, you know, I don't think Gemini worries a lot about getting their point across. Like, they have so many points that if they don't get this point across, there's bound to be another one coming around. So yeah, I love how clear this energy is. I feel like the universe has an opportunity with this full moon to really just clear some things up. It seems very light, you know. I'm a Pisces, so some of the Pisces listening might feel a little agitated with this full moon. Even Virgo, this moon squares Virgo and Pisces. Sag, I don't know how you're doing, but this is your opposite shadow. Okay, the moon is in your 7th house, so, you know, this is going to affect us all in different ways, guys. But for the most part, I feel like this is a little bit of a lighter full moon in spite of the Mercury retrograde and, you know, all this stuff going on. But it seems lighter. It just seems like it's just putting an emphasis on communication. But I did want to briefly talk about the duality of Gemini and how Gemini are the twins, okay, before we jump into the tarot. So I do have the tarot here, and I shuffled until Gemini was on the bottom of the deck. And I just wanted to show you guys how beautiful Gemini's ruling tarot card is. I mean, how lucky. They are ruled by the Lovers card. The Lovers card, I was actually thinking before this video why Gemini doesn't have more to do with relationships, but then I thought, you know, it has everything to do with relationships when it comes to Sagittarius energy. So interesting, right? The Lovers, twin flame, soulmate energy, that's what this card represents. And I think it's just beautiful, the duality. It's not just love that Gemini represents. It's not just love that this Lovers card represents. It's literally the masculine and the feminine. That's why I wore black and white. Because Gemini is one out of the 3 dual signs, okay? Gemini is one out of the 3 dual signs. Pisces, Libra, and Gemini are all dual signs. And, you know, duality, when we have a full moon in a dual sign, this is definitely accessing both parts of the universe, okay? Masculine and feminine, light and dark, the yin, the yang, all of that. I love when full moons come into the dual signs like Libra. Whenever there's a full moon in Libra, Gemini, or Pisces, there's a duality that's able to be accessed in our universe, okay? And it's quite beautiful. So this is an opportunity to, you know, mentally adapt and process all the ends of the spectrum. Like I said, masculine, feminine, just the dual energy. It's very balanced, okay? So I love that Gemini represents the twins, okay? Gemini are the only zodiac sign that has 2 of human, okay? Gemini, I know Pisces is the 2 fish, and fish have heartbeats and everything like that, but Gemini represents the humans. Like, they are 2 human, full being twins. You know, so this might be a little bit, duality sometimes can be confusing, especially for people who are more white and black and no gray area. So I did want to mention that a little bit, that for some reason this full moon could be a bit confusing to some of us. And I say that because right underneath the Lovers card we have the 2 of Swords. Okay, so there's definitely some kind of crossroads that this dual portal is opening up. And it's going to be very, very interesting to see how this full moon, you know, affects us all. So I am going to get into the cards, guys. I know that was a bit faster, but this energy is all about communication and thinking, and there's a lot going on. So it's all about processing this mentally, you know, on our own, kind of, I want to say. So hopefully that was some enlightened information, but really I think what's important here is to get the messages, okay? I'm using original Rider-Waite tarot, which is going to be interesting. I love using these cards. So we have 78 cards here, and we'll see what comes out for all the 12 zodiac signs. So Spirit, I just wanted to say a little bit of a prayer before I start this reading for the 12 zodiac signs. This is for the Gemini full moon, soul, spirits, God, goddess. Any supporting energies around me, I do invite you in at this time for all the 4 elements and the different zodiac signs. Let's get them all messages for the full moon in Gemini, please. So we are going to start with Aries because Aries is the first zodiac sign. So Aries, this moon is 3 houses away from you, meaning that this is your 3rd house. Gemini is the 3rd house. So this energy, it's kind of whatever, all that I just talked about is what it means for you, Aries. Communication, short distance travel, the lower mind. So these messages, guys, you know, it's just a full moon message, whatever message the zodiac sign needs to hear, but it could potentially have something to do with communication. Okay, I do want to keep that in mind, that this may have something to do with communication and thoughts. So let's see what the message is for Aries. What is the full moon in Gemini message for Aries? Okay, Aries, we had a card flip over, and we also had some other cards fall out. Okay, so we're just gonna have to incorporate them because that's just how it goes. So Aries, the card that flipped over for you is the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands. This is my Sagittarius card. So some of you guys could be dealing with a Sagittarius. We could be dealing with an Aries or a Leo because the Knight of Wands is a fire sign who is on the move. So potentially Aries, you could be on the move for this Gemini full moon. Maybe traveling a short distance, 30 minutes to an hour away. But the Knight of Wands, all the knights, right? We have these 4 different knights in tarot. And we have one for water, we have one for earth, we have one for air, and we have one for fire, which is you've got the Knight of Fire. So the knights represent movement, very fast movement in some cases. The Knight of Wands is one of the fastest moving knights in the tarot deck. So this full moon, Aries, is about charging towards what you're passionate about, whether that's love, whether that's a new home environment. I mean, Aries, you're a fire sign, you're a cardinal sign. So you're all about moving when it comes to the fire, right? So what is it that you've been really wanting to charge after? You're a ram, Aries. Aries already charged forward towards things in a very passionate and fiery way. The Knight of Wands, he's kind of in and out. So Aries, you know, you're no stranger to running after this passion and then whoop, you know, running after that passion. And no, all of a sudden I'm passionate about this. So the Knight of Wands is here to assist you on this full moon, Aries, to tell you to get up on that horse, get on your horse, right? Get in your car, whatever, and charge forward towards something, move towards something. This is about moving in a more passionate way, Aries. And you could definitely be dealing with another fire sign. But, you know, you are fire, so I feel like this represents you. I do see the armor here, so you could be feeling a little bit protected, Aries. But either way, this full moon is definitely about forward movement passionately. The Knight of Wands doesn't care if where he's going makes sense. He doesn't care where he doesn't care about how people feel. He's all about the adventure. He's all about the passion. He's all about just going. So Sagittarius energy, which is where the sun is, this whole Sagittarius season, it may, especially because you guys are both fire signs, right? Sag and Aries are both fire. So this mutable fire energy, along with this full moon in Gemini, is really going to compel Aries to really move forward towards the fire, you know, towards the heat. Okay, it's kind of like a hot and cold thing. Move towards, you're getting warmer, thing like that, Aries. Now, it's interesting, the 3 cards that fell over, they did fall face down. So to me, this is more of a secretive message. But we do have the 6 of Cups, we have the 4 of Swords, and the King of Swords. So we've got Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio energy, soulmate energy, Aries. You could potentially be charging forward to someone in your past. I wouldn't be surprised if this full moon brings up certain nostalgic energy. The 6 of Cups is all about emotion from your past. You know, you could have been healing from that. There might be something that you need to heal from, Aries, because the 4 of Swords, that card in the middle there, is all about healing and resting. So this is like the past is at rest. But since this Knight of Wands is charging forward towards all this, it's almost like the past is no longer at rest. Maybe you gain some clarity about something, Aries. But I would say this is that Gemini energy, that communication, mental energy. But I would it has something to do with a soulmate, Aries, maybe even children for some of you. Okay, we have the 6 of Cups. That's like children energy. So yeah, there's some healing going on from the past. Maybe you've already healed from something in the past, Aries. There's something in the past that you've healed from and that you have truth and clarity about. So maybe that's why there's something passionate. Okay, and you do have the Ace of Swords at the bottom of the deck. I did want to mention that to you, and I revealed the Hermit card right underneath that. So you could be dealing with a Virgo, some of you. Especially if some of you guys walked away from a Virgo. You could just be dealing with isolation. Okay, but come on now, Aries. Isolated thoughts, but we have the Ace of Swords at the bottom of the deck for you. So your message is the Knight of Wands and the Ace of Swords at the bottom of the deck. So really what it is, Aries, is that you guys are charging forward and moving passionately because of this full moon, okay? And you're doing this in the name of your truth, in the name of some kind of conversation. This is a new beginning. Every ace is a new beginning. And you have the Ace of Air. So this is a new beginning mentally. You're charging forward towards your passion because of the mental new beginning that you're desiring, okay? So before we start, Taurus, I'm going to plug in my lamp. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. So let's see what's going on for Taurus for the full moon in Gemini. Taurus, this is your second house. Your full moon was last month, okay? So you've survived the full moon in your sign. So now that you've conquered first house energy, we move to your second house. Taurus, you are the second house. Okay, so you're going to understand everything about this full moon, or what it brings up at least. It's in the area of your resources. Taurus, you represent resources. Your resources, you know, what you value, finances. So Taurus, there could potentially be some new beginnings and completions in your house of finance. You could be communicating about finances around this time. But there is a cycle of resources that is coming to a close. And that may change, and there's also some kind of cycle of worth and value, okay? And that makes so much sense because you guys learned a lot about that, believe it or not, on your full moon. So what's going on for Taurus? Plugged my lamp in and didn't even turn it on. Okay, so what is going on for Taurus with the Gemini full moon? Let's get one card for Taurus with the Gemini full moon. So heavy message for you, Taurus. You have the Magician coming out, Taurus. So this is a very magical time. Remember, I was mentioning that the mutable signs represent magic. Okay, so you're really tapping into the magic of your resources. This is a beautiful message to come up when you're going through second house energy, because the Magician is here to tell you, Taurus, that you have everything you need. You see how he has all the elements on that table there? He's got a cup to represent water and emotion. He's got the sword to represent truth and clarity. He's got the wand to represent fire and passion. He's got that pentacle to represent money and finances. The Magician always mentions, always talks about, when he comes up in a tarot reading, that you have everything you need. It's just all about believing in it. Very magical energy. You have access to magic. Okay, you could even be using magic to gain resources, like using the law of abundance and the law of attraction to kind of magically, basically shit out resources. You know how people say, you know, well, I don't shit out money, you know, like I can't, money doesn't grow on trees. Well, for you, Taurus, this full moon is really teaching you the magic of, like, magic is a resource of yours, Taurus, especially around this full moon for some reason. So yeah, this is definitely something magical coming up for you, Taurus. You know, you have all those items on that table there. So it's really about, you know, do you need something emotional right now, Taurus? Do you need something passionate? Do you need something, you know, physical or earth-wise? You have everything you need. You have at least one, you have one of something that represents all the elements. So you could be dealing with a fire sign, air sign, earth sign, water sign. It's all about, it's basically different potions, you know, so it's about, like, what potion do you need? Is it a love potion? But this is second house energy for you, so it's all about your resources. The main thing here is believing and knowing that you have the power to manifest your own resources. You have everything. You guys, there's something that this moon is going to bring up for you where you're like, I don't have enough money for that. I don't have enough intellect for that. I don't have enough, but you do. Okay, because the Magician is all about tapping into the abundance of the magic in the universe. The universe has an abundant supply of everything. Everything. Everything, everything, everything. So you could never run out of that, Taurus. You can never run out of that. So if you guys are feeling low on finances, low on anything, if you're feeling low on passion, low on creativity or emotion or anything, Taurus, if you're feeling low in any area of your life, there's something around you that you could tap into, the magic of it, to kind of create more of that resource, if that's making sense. So this is a message to Taurus about how you guys are the second house of the resource. So if anybody could create magical resources out of anything, it would be Taurus. You know, there's some Tauruses I know like that. They just make ends meet, you know what I mean? Like, even if they don't have enough money, like, they just make it work. And that's because you guys are the magicians of the second house. So this is a very magical full moon for you, Taurus. In the bottom of the deck is the Wheel of Fortune. Some of you guys are dealing with job changes, money changes. Some of you guys are changing work environments because of teamwork. I'm just reading the cards here. There's the teamwork card. Okay, so if there's a situation where things haven't been working out, things haven't been working all together as a teamwork, you know what I'm saying, then that's going to change. This is a very amazing message for you for the Gemini full moon. Okay, you are on this card, Taurus. All the fixed signs are on this card. We have the Taurus there. We have the Lion, Taurus and Leo, and Aquarius and Scorpio up there. So you could be dealing with any of those signs. And Taurus, this is you have the resources to change everything right now. That's what the Wheel of Fortune and the Magician is saying. Like, this is a magical change for you. The Wheel of Fortune is also a cycle. So since that you went through the full moon in Taurus and now you're going through the second house of your resources, definitely job changes, money changes for you guys. But it's all about knowing that you have everything you need right now to create change. So if there's some kind of change coming up with this full moon cycle, then just know that you have everything you need, Taurus, to change all this, okay? To change jobs, whatever it may be. You've got the resources. Oh my God, such a magical message for Taurus. So let's move to Gemini. Gemini, this is your full moon. And as I talk to you, I see the High Priestess. There is a message that just kind of jumped out here, but it's way too much. It might be a piggyback message for Taurus. But I did want to mention here that I seen the High Priestess a lot when I was shuffling before this reading. So there is certain secrets, Gemini. The High Priestess, she knows certain things about the universe. And when the moon is full in your sign, in your first house of personality and the I am and self and all that. So this is like, Gemini, this is a full cycle for you coming to a completion. Like a cycle of who you are emotionally, you know, your soul, a soul cycle. The moon represents your soul, and it's going to be filled with, well, it's already been filled with light in the sky, with your opposing sign Sagittarius filling it with light. So let's get you a message here. But I just want you to know that this is extremely important for you guys because this is your full moon, okay? So this is a cycle completing for you. What's the full moon message for Gemini spirit? Let's get one card for Gemini, please. Okay, it's the card that was right underneath. Wow, Gemini, look at that full moon message. Some of you guys right off the bat you have a decision to make emotionally. I do want to let you guys know, if you didn't watch the intro to this video, or if you're watching on Facebook, this card was right underneath the Lover's card. So this full moon has a lot to do with decisions. Even the Lover's card represents decisions, right? So Gemini, this full moon is a decision for you. We got the Moon card. This is Cancer and Pisces energy. But the moon is in your sign, Gemini. So how more direct can this message get? There's a soul decision that you need to make. And you got a month to make it, Gemini. I don't want you to think that, oh, this full moon, it's right now and I need to make this decision. Some of you could have already experienced this, but others of you there's going to be, until the Cancer full moon, or at least until the new moon in Sagittarius, there's going to be some decisions that come up. Okay, and they're going to be decisions that you have to make at a soul level. Okay, this full moon could definitely, I mean, you're a dual sign, Gemini, so you're used to, like, you know, feeling two different things at once, or being two different things, being this and shutting off that side of you, and being that and shutting off that side of you. So the Two of Swords is someone who is very conflicted mentally. Okay, she's got a decision to make, but she's blindfolding herself so she doesn't have to make it. Maybe this is something emotional, okay? Maybe you guys are conflicted emotionally, or there's some kind of crossroads at a soul level or at an emotional level. But this full moon, it's going to have certain decisions, okay? There's going to be certain stalemates and literally a crossroad, if I haven't already said that, emotionally. Your soul is at a crossroad. Maybe it has to do with your light twin and your dark twin, okay? Because every Gemini has, you know, two twins to consider. So I don't know, Gemini, if there's just some kind of crossing going on here, or if there's some kind of decision that you need to make. Maybe it's a secret decision, because the moon can also be secrets. When the moon is in your sign, Gemini, you're covered in shadows and secrets and emotions. And, you know, like that high priestess that came up was another secret energy. So there's certain secrets that Gemini is keeping, okay? Because you guys are at a crossroads subconsciously. This could be a subconscious crossroads, because the moon is a subconscious force. Okay, maybe this is a decision to make about your shadow side, something like that. Interesting message here. It's blatantly saying that this moon is a decision for you. This moon is a crossroads. This moon is maybe a little bit of a conflict for you for some reason, Gemini. So it could be dealing with a Pisces or a Cancer. You could have a decision to make about that. Bottom of the deck for you, Gemini, is the Four of Wands. So this could potentially have to do with some kind of relationship. It could have to do with a celebration. It could have to do with a foundation, a home environment, a living situation, okay? But this is a celebration, so you have to decide some kind of secret right now that has to do with either your home or your family or your living situation or a relationship. But this is a celebration. And you know what's right underneath that, Gemini, is the Two of Wands. So either way you cut it, Gemini has some kind of decision to make, and that's because there's a lot that this full moon is going to bring in to change for you. Sudden endings and beginnings that you didn't see coming, especially in your finances, decisions to make in relationships, decisions to make in your living environments, families, you know. So it's all up to you, Gemini, what you do with these secrets, what you do with this shadow knowledge, okay? This is your energy, the air. Okay, so this is your thoughts. You've got some secret thoughts going on. Gemini, nobody knows it, but you're very mentally conflicted around this full moon. Okay, so you've got some decisions to make, Gemini. And this full moon is going to really bring certain things to a completion and a closed cycle. So that may help you ultimately make these decisions. So let's move on to Cancer energy. Cancer, your card came out rather quickly. This is your 12th house, Cancer. And 12th house full moons can be very powerful because the moon is very comfortable in the 12th house of subconscious. We've got the moon, your ruling planet, that symbolizes dreams and subconscious and darkness and all that. And sorry guys, I was just looking at the people outside my window. But yeah, you know, this is going to bring a lot of subconscious stuff to the surface, Cancer. You're getting ready for that eclipse energy to set in since you're the North Node now. So, you know, pay attention to your dreams, Cancer. Pay attention to your intuition. But the card we have coming out for you guys is the Nine of Pentacles. So right off the bat, this is an independent energy. Some of you Cancers out there are really working independently right now. You're surrounded by your finances. You're surrounded by abundance. Or there's a want and a need to be. Okay, some of you just simply want to be single. Some of you, there's a single woman involved or something like that. But this is a woman who can do bad all by herself. I always say that. And she's in kind of like a gilded cage situation where, you know, where you're in prison. You feel trapped where you are, but at least you're comfortable. So it's like a very comfy cage if you want to think about it like that, Cancer. But the main message here is Cancer is working on their independence. Cancer is working on, you know, increasing their finances on their end of things. So if you guys are in relationships, there could definitely be, you know, some people who desire being single, especially, this is like the financially single woman. She could have a husband, she could have a boyfriend, but she likes to be single financially, okay? She likes to keep her finances in her own garden, if you will, okay? And I know this is about really working hard, Cancer, on being independent, because we have the the Eight of Pentacles. So we literally have the 8 and the 9 of Pentacles. So that's a synchronicity. 8 and 9. These cards come right after one another in tarot. So you guys are working really, really hard at independence. This is my while you're away at work card. This is my card for that. This is someone who's away at work. So you guys might be single because someone's away at work or something like that. But we got 2 Pentacle cards for you, Cancer. So this full moon is about grounding yourself, okay? Probably because of all the emotion that's going to come up with the 12th house full moon for you, okay? And then next month, a full moon in your sign. So yeah, lots of emotion that needs to be grounded. We even have the moon here, piggybacking off of Gemini's reading. So this full moon is all about working hard at something, Cancer. You guys are trying to perfect some kind of skill, some kind of apprenticeship. It could be school. You could just be trying to, you know, it's like a repetitive thing, okay? There's something that's repetitive at work, or someone's repetitive at work. So you're just like, you know, I can do this myself. This is that North Node energy, okay? I can do this myself. And you guys, there could definitely be something here about the home environment for you too, but we do have the same message for Gemini, the Four of Wands, the Two of Wands, and the Tower. So there's some kind of decision that you may need to make too, Cancer, especially if you're dealing with a Gemini. Could have to do with your home environment, but for me, this is your full moon message, the Nine of Pentacles, single energy. But independent energy, you know, working on your own. These two cards talk about being independent and working on your own, grounding your own self, grounding yourself financially, you know, perfecting some kind of financial endeavor for yourself, okay? And this may be coming to a completion with the full moon, or maybe it's some kind of secret. Okay, there could have been some secrets while somebody was away at work, and that's why maybe some secrets come out, and maybe that's why you're single, Cancer. But in general, just so that all of you resonate, it looks like Cancer's working on something, working really hard at something in this full moon, and you could be working on it subconsciously. You could be working on it emotionally or at a soul level. So it's about putting your, you know how they say, put your back into it. Cancer, you're putting your soul into it. You're putting your emotions into it. Working hard. Working hard, Cancer, for this full moon. Heavy financial energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy. So let's move on to Leo. Leo, this full moon is happening in your 11th house of friends and groups and community and humanitarianism. This is also the house of your wishes and your dreams. Okay, so let's see what the full moon message is for you, Leo. Wowza. So we had two cards come out for you, Leo, which is the King of Wands and the Ten of Swords. So, right off the bat, this King of Wands is speaking to me. Aries, Sagittarius, Leo energy. This is like the Leo card, okay? You even see the lions. Leos are kings and queens. Even the females watching, there's some kind of masculine. You could be dealing with a fire sign who is a male. Okay, a male fire sign is coming up here. But this is also just strong Leo energy, okay? There's some kind of king. But this could be a woman too, you know, Leo, you could Leo women, you guys are lions too. So you could definitely be embodying a more masculine energy if this isn't someone else. The King of Wands is all about his vision, okay? He's about taking action towards his vision. He's about creativity. He's an authority leader when it comes to fire and passion and expression. So this is interesting, but we have this message coming up with the Ten of Swords, Leo. So the Ten of Swords is betrayal. The Ten of Swords is pain, backstabbing, feeling victimized, and like something has come to a very harsh, painful ending, okay? So this full moon could definitely end certain things for you, Leo. But it's like, you know, I want you guys to pay attention to the vision. No matter what ends, this could be a relationship ending. This could just be betrayal in general. And this looks like, I don't know if you're doing this, Leo, or if this is being done to you, but this King of Wands is looking over at this Ten of Swords, and he still looks kind of amped up. He looks kind of passionate, right? So some of you guys could be dealing with passionate endings. You know, this King of Wands has suffered, this fire sign or very passionate person has suffered the very tough ending to something, okay? We've got air energy here. You could be dealing with a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, or maybe you're just thinking a lot, okay? Maybe these are certain endings to friendships, endings to groups of people. Okay, but whatever it is, this full moon to you, Leo, it represents endings. You know, full moons are completions and new beginnings. So this is a card of completion, but it is a rather difficult one. So this full moon may bring up certain pain for you, Leo. The North Node is no longer in your sign. The North Node is in your 12th house. So, you know, this might be something that's linked to your destiny that has shifted in November. But to me, there's some pain linked to a fire sign. Okay, you are a fire sign, Leo, so this could be you going through painful endings. You guys, some of you are dealing with a Sagittarius because we have the Temperance card here at the bottom of the deck, okay? And right underneath the Temperance card, we have the Three of Swords. Right underneath that, Leo, we have the Eight of Swords and then the Two of Swords. So Jesus, Leo, you know, there's some kind of heartbreaking situation for this full moon. You know, this is another betrayal card here. And Leo, you're ruled by the heart. So your heart could be broken, you know, and you need patience. There's a Sagittarius broken heart, or maybe this is just patience and balance, but someone feels stuck and confused. Okay, this is feeling trapped about something. And then we have you, Leo. This is a very interesting Leo card, Page of Wands. So you're dealing with some kind of conflict, potentially from the past. Okay, maybe even with a Scorpio. But yeah, Leo, it looks like you're going to need patience for this situation, whatever this painful situation is. And there's lots of thoughts. Okay, all of these are thoughts. So talk about air Gemini energy. Gemini is an air energy. So this is going to bring up a lot of thoughts. whatever this ending is, it's heartbreaking. You feel trapped, and there is some kind of decision to make here at the other end of the spectrum. Some kind of decision, and if you take a look here, Leo, both of these women are blindfolded. So there might be something that you're blinding yourself. You know, it's heartbreaking, so you don't want to see this ending. You really don't want to see it. You don't want to see this betrayal. Okay, you're blinding yourself to some kind of betrayal. But we have temperance here, okay? So this is patience and balance, trying new things, potentially with a Sagittarius. This is Sagittarius season, so maybe this full moon is bringing up all of Sagittarius season for you, and how you're going to have to still remain on your throne. You're going to have to still remain passionate and a king and a queen when it comes to all these endings, okay? The King of Wands is going to handle this pain and this ending in a different way. If you notice, he's still on his throne. He still has his wand in his hand, so he can still create. He can still express himself. He's still passionate. But there's some kind of pain that you're dealing with, Leo, but stay patient and stay balanced, okay? Maybe there's a Sagittarius around you that has something to do with this. Maybe a Sagittarius can help you. Okay, so endings and beginnings, Leo. So let's go to Virgo. Virgo, this is your 10th house of career. Simple as that. So there could be a lot of cycles of career going on, you know, new beginnings there. And you have the same exact message as Cancer, except in the reverse. We have the Eight of Pentacles coming out for you, Virgo. So you guys, there's some Cancer Virgo stuff going on here. Cancer got, I mean, this is the bottom of your deck here. Okay, Virgo. It's a little bit different than the message for Cancer, because Cancer got... This card came out for Cancer, and this was at the bottom of the deck. For you, Virgo, this card came out for you, and this was at the bottom of the deck, okay? So we've got 8 and 9, same as Cancer. Same as Cancer, heavy physical energy for some reason. Oh, well, for you, it makes more sense than Cancer. This is that career energy. Virgo, you are working so hard at, you know, perfecting your skill. You're working independently. This is my while you're away at work card. So there's some kind of energy. Someone in the situation, probably you, Virgo, is away at work. This person is, you know, they spend more time working than they do back there in their hometown. So to me, this is someone who's away at work. So there could have been something that happens during this Gemini full moon while you're away at work. We also have the single woman card. So some of you guys are, you know, financially single, if you know what I mean. You may have relationships, you may have partnerships, but Virgo, there's something here about your garden of abundance, okay? There's something here that you need to tackle it financially. It's a very grounded energy, this full moon. The 10th house is all about your long-term goals and your legacy. So what are you working on, Virgo? Are you working on your garden of abundance? Because that's what this woman here, she's in the garden of abundance. And she is in a gilded cage kind of situation. So she's in a prison, but she's comfortable, okay? So she hardly realizes that she's in a prison, but if she can't leave, she's still trapped. So some of you guys are feeling kind of like trapped in a career, but it's comfortable, it pays the bills, it's such good money. Every Virgo is in a gilded cage situation when it comes to money, because you guys are the earth signs, okay? And this is 10th house energy, so that's very strong earth energy. Not surprised that 2 Pentacle cards are coming out for you. The card that came out for you, though, Virgo, is the 8 of Pentacles. And this is about really working hard at something, okay? Even if you're spending time away at work, you're really perfecting your craft. It's repetitive, okay? You're making your own money, if you can see this man is making his own money. Or there's a desire to. So if you are unemployed, if you're dealing with, like, you know, financial troubles, that's what this message could mean too, is that this full moon in your 10th house of career may really increase your ability to work. It may bring you in money. It may complete cycles of finances and career in your long term. So if you're not in a career that you're happy in, this could bring new careers to you. That just changes, okay, within your career. But these two messages together, the 8 and the 9 of Pentacles, it's like working independently, you know, to increase your own money, working really hard. And come on now, this is the same message that came out with Cancer. So if you work with any Cancers, or if there's any Cancer energy around you, you guys both have the same goal in mind. You're working independently. You're trying to, you know, water your garden of abundance with all these coins. And this is 10th house energy for you. So maybe you're working hard at a new career. You know, maybe some of you guys are going to branch off of a career and try to start some entrepreneurship. Virgo, you do have the 10 of Wands, okay? So there's something heavy you're carrying. This is a completed energy, okay? So there's something here that's coming to a heavy completion. You've been carrying it for way too long. Okay, these wands are not all of your responsibility. This is the work of 3 men. So you're doing the work of 3 different people, and you're very burdened by something. This moon If you want to get real nitty and gritty with it, yeah, it's about your career, but I've got a deeper message here for you, Virgo. This moon is about dropping some of the burdens you've been carrying secretly. Your soul is heavy, Virgo. There's something you're carrying that's very heavy emotionally. There's a secret burden that you've been keeping a secret. Maybe it has to do with something in your home environment or your family or a marriage or something like that. There may be a decision that you have to make, and potentially everything falls down. I'm not sure, Virgo, but we've got some secret burdens here, okay? And this is linked to your 10th house of career. So there might be some kind of secret or emotion that's burdening you at an emotional level, a soul burden, okay? So you're going to have to drop some of that weight, Virgo, so that you can be more independent financially with this 10th house career. I've been telling a lot of Virgos how beneficial this full moon is in your 10th house, because you guys are all about career. Every Virgo I know works so hard, works so many hours. So this is going to bring some much needed changes, completions, and new beginnings to your 10th house of career. All about the long-term, Virgo. So this is long-term money. And this is about your garden, okay? Your garden of independence. And some of you could be even single because of this full moon. It might inspire some kind of separation of career. Okay, so let's move to Libra. Libra, you are an air energy. So this Gemini full moon, it's going to speak to you. You know, it's going to help you be a little bit more mentally adaptive because you're a cardinal sign. And it's your 9th house, okay? So you're going to learn something or maybe even teach something around this full moon. This is an expansive full moon for you, Libra. The 9th house expands everything. It's about your beliefs, though, Libra. So there could be something here about your beliefs or your education, okay? Lots of completions when it comes to that. Okay, Libra, we have your card coming out here, and it's the 9 of Swords, friends. It's the 9 of Swords. Lots of thoughts. So Libra could really benefit from this full moon on how to adapt the thoughts in their mind. Because, Libra, you are an air sign just like Gemini. But the difference between you and Gemini is that Gemini changes more. They change the subject more. Their thoughts change more. They're more adaptable. Libra, you're a cardinal, so you're all about actions, putting your thoughts into action. So there could be something that you're thinking that you can't put into action, and that could definitely cause a Libra anxiety. There could be something that's off balance. But this full moon, it may bring certain completions to something that has got you up at night, lover. You are up at night. Maybe you're not sleeping very well. There's all these thoughts. There's these 9 different thoughts in your head. Gemini is your 9th house. So Gemini represents 9 different thoughts for you and how they're expanding. You get that? The 9th house of air for you is Gemini. This is a Gemini full moon for you, Libra. So it's interesting the 9 of air would come out. So this is like not sleeping very well, having nightmares, having insomnia, having mental anxiety, fighting mental dark battles. A lot of darkness in this card, Libra. But I feel like this is coming to an end. I feel like this full moon, you may feel this energy initially, the first few nights of the full moon, but when the moon heads into Cancer, you may feel it then too. But, you know, as the moon moves on and when it goes new next month into Sagittarius, some of this mental anxiety may get put to a rest. But I just want you to know that I know, my cards know, the universe knows, Libra, that you've been going through some mental anxiety. An air energy would bring that more to the forefront. So, you know, pay attention to your thoughts, Libra. Take some breaths deep in and out with this air energy. It's all about breathing. But Libra is definitely going through some insomnia, mental anxiety with this full moon. But maybe you're learning something. Maybe this has something to do with learning or expansion or education or beliefs. You know, what do you believe, Libra? Is there something that you believe that's keeping you up at night? Bottom of the deck is the 10 of Wands, and I just revealed the 10 of Pentacles with the 9 of Cups. So there could be some juggling going on. Some of you guys are just stressed out financially about something that you're wishing for. But I'm really happy to see these 2 cards at the bottom of your deck, because this is 2 indications of a completion. You guys, okay, this mental anxiety is most likely linked to either family or money, or both. Money and family. God, what a combination. So there's some kind of financial burden that you're carrying, Libra. This is the card of burden and heavy responsibility. You guys are carrying some kind of heavy but responsibility when it comes to money. And these 2 cards are both 10s, so it needs to complete. Even the 9 of Swords is very close to a 10, so that anxiety needs to complete. And this anxiety has something to do with a family burden. It has to do with a home burden. You know, the 10 of Pentacles is all about, you know, family life and heritage and my grandchildren's grandchildren, but it's about financial stability in your home, okay? Financial fulfillment, longevity. So there's something here that's burdening you when it comes to that, Libra, and that's why you're having mental anxiety. It's financial burdens. There's something that maybe it's some kind of financial completion, okay, or maybe it has something to do with burdens at work or burdens that you're carrying financially, physically. Maybe it has to do with a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Aries, Sagittarius, Leo. We've got fire and earth here and air, and we don't have any water. So where are your emotions, Libra? So as far as that mental anxiety, there's some kind of burden that you need to drop financially, okay, so that this wish can come in, okay, this wish for financial harmony and balance, because you're juggling a lot, Libra, okay. There's definitely some kind of burden that's keeping you up at night, okay, some kind of burden that's keeping you up at night, and for some of you, it does have to do with family or career or money, okay. So, Scorpio, this is your 8th house. Gemini is 8 signs away from you. So that's really interesting. I never realized that Gemini was your 8th house. So you are the 8th house, Scorpio. So you're going to understand this energy. Secrets, intimacy, shared resources. You have a full moon in your 8th house. So your 8th house energy that you carry, Scorpio, is going to go through completions and new beginnings. So this is a secret for you. This is intimacy, stuff like that. The card coming out for you is the 3 of Pentacles. Scorpio. Could be dealing with a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, but this is a work situation, okay? This is teamwork. And the 8th house is shared resources. I don't want to forget that. So, you know, what are you sharing financially, Scorpio, around the time of this full moon? Because there could be some communication. There could be some endings and beginnings going on with that. But this is about some people that need to work together. You could definitely be dealing with a Leo, because this card was featured in the Taurus and the Leo reading, I believe. And we have the Sun card here at the bottom of the deck for you, Scorpio. So there's something here about teamwork when it comes to your happiness, when it comes to your enlightenment, when it comes to some kind of child involved. There's some kind of child. For some of you, there is a third party. So there's you, there's your lover or whatever, and then there's a child. To me, this looks like there's a third party involving a child. And for some of you, that could be burdening you. That could be causing you anxiety, okay? So yeah, Scorpio, there's just a message here about your happiness. There's an underlying energy about what would make you happy, the job that would make you happy for some reason, and the shared resources. So the teamwork that's going on, okay, when it comes to your intimacy. This is your 8th house. So, you know, what you're sharing at work, because for some reason your work is coming up, okay? So maybe this is about working together in an intimate way. Maybe you're in a third party situation, Scorpio. But yeah, there's something here that's burdening you. There's some kind of burden here that you need to drop so that you can be happy. Could be a Leo, could be a child for some of you. Maybe it's something that you're aware of. Okay, the sun is a huge light. So it's like you're aware of it, you have clarity, you're aware of this third party, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy. There could definitely be 3 people, okay, that there's a secret or something, because keep in mind this full moon is in your 8th house, but my cards don't lie, and the message that wanted to come out for you is the 3 of Pentacles. So there's something about this full moon where you're going to need to work together, especially financially with everyone, Scorpio, and it's ultimately for your own happiness, excuse me, so that you can drop this burden of anxiety, okay, because there's definitely a burden of anxiety. Maybe it's linked to a fire sign, maybe it's linked to a marriage or a decision about a marriage or a decision about a home environment. Sorry, there's just some people walking by or something like that. But yeah, definitely some anxiety, definitely some burdens. And, you know, Scorpio, it looks as if you can see this. Okay, it looks like there's definitely a Leo that you guys need to work together. Or maybe it's your child, especially if you have a son. But even if you have a daughter, there's just some kind of third party situation. And the sun is illuminating this, okay? The sun, it's like impossible not to see this with the sun here. So it's about some kind of teamwork that needs to take place in the name of your own happiness, Scorpio. Okay, maybe this is about a job that would really make you happy, and that's the third party. Keep in mind the third party could be you, it could be a feeling. It's just, it doesn't have to be 3 people, it's just 3 things involved, okay, Scorpio? So that's a really interesting message. I mean, that it is an 8th house full moon for you, so it's potentially a secret. So it might not make sense to me as the reader, but there could just be some secrets that are coming to the light, I guess. Some third-party secrets that are coming to the light about something that's been burdening you, causing you anxiety too. 3 of Pentacles, Scorpio. So I just feel like somebody needs to work together about some kind of happiness, or some of you are really becoming aware of third parties. Okay? So let's move on to Sagittarius. Sag, happy birthdays. You guys, the sun is in your sign and the full moon is opposing you, okay? So you're an important player with Jupiter here and Mercury here and the sun here opposing this full moon. So Sagittarius, this is about your 7th house of relationships, okay? 7th house of relationships. We have the Page of Swords coming out for you. This is an air energy. Gemini is an air energy. You could be dealing with Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy. But the Page of Swords is a spy. So Sagittarius, it is your season. You are looking good and feeling good. And you've got Jupiter. So that you guys could have some spies or stalkers around you. Just be careful. Excuse me. Because sometimes the Page of Swords is a stalker. But to me, the Page of Swords is a messenger. Every page, we have 4 pages in the tarot. And you guys are getting the Page of Air. So this is a message of truth for this full moon. It's really going to reveal, and this is about your relationships. So you could really gain some clarity in your relationships. There could be some relationship spies going on. There might be people that like you or they have you in mind. They've been thinking about you, so they're kind of spying on you, Gemini. Or I'm sorry, I called you Gemini. Jeez. Sagittarius, maybe you're doing the spying. Maybe there's someone who you, like what I just heard is I've got my eye on you. So if there's anyone that you have your eye on, Sagittarius, they may have their eye on you. But the overall message is the Page of Swords. So there's some truth with this full moon that's coming out. Okay, and it's a youthful. Some of you guys could be Some of you guys could be dealing with younger air signs, Geminis, Libras, and Aquariuses. Okay, but there's some kind of truth that comes out with the Page of Swords. This is a fool. Okay, a mental fool, which could be a good thing or a bad thing. This could just be someone who's really mentally young, okay? But to me, every page is a fool on a new beginning. So it could be a new beginning mentally. This full moon, over the next month, or at least for the next few weeks, Sagittarius, there could be some kind of truth that is spoken to you, or some kind of message that comes in, inspired by this full moon. And for some of you, it could definitely be a message about work. It could be a message about a third party. I'm going to be honest, I do see that there's some third party truths that come out for some of you, whether it's on your behalf or others. There's just 3 factors to come in here. Maybe there's some kind of work betrayal for some of you. Maybe it's an air sign or an earth sign. We do have 2 air signs and earth. So there's somebody needs to work together mentally. Somebody needs to communicate from the heart. And, you know, there's some kind of situation where people need to work together as a team, but there's some truth that comes out at work for some of you, or financially, that it just looks like some kind of betrayal. But for some of you, I'm going to be honest, this is the truth. You guys get a message, or there's some kind of truth that comes out about, you know, a third party. Like either you're the third party, Sag, or you have a third party and that truth comes out. But this is a truth full moon for you, because the Page of Swords was the message that came out. And, you know, we have these blindfolds again coming out for you, Sagittarius. So there could be something you're blinding yourself to. There could be some kind of decision that you feel trapped in. These are 2 trapped energies, very mental. Your mental health is coming up here with Mercury. Okay, and then we have the World and the Death card. So Sagittarius, this is the death to the world that you were living in. Okay, hello Jupiter, hello Sagittarius season. This is a cycle of completion. You could be dealing with a Scorpio or a Taurus or a Leo or an Aquarius. Scorpio for sure. But this is a cycle that comes to the completion, and it kind of shocks you suddenly. The Death card is about sudden endings and beginnings. So there's something that this full moon like suddenly begins in your life, which means something suddenly ends. And then I see this 7 of Swords. So some of you guys, there's a hidden agenda, maybe with a Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, or with an Aries, because I see the Emperor here. But there's something here about having the emotional authority. And then this 7 of Swords. So just be careful of hidden agendas, okay, because that's a sneaky, cheating, lying energy. So there are some Sagittariuses out there that are going to find out about a third party. That might be why death comes to your world and completions of cycles happen. But yeah, here's your message. So truth about a heartbreak, truth about the third party going on and what it really means. Some kind of message about work. Some of you guys, this is just a message like, hey, Sagittarius, like maybe someone's fired or something. Okay, because this is like a betrayal or heartbreak. Some of you guys might work with people that you're interested in love-wise. So you're going to have to let me know. Welcome to the full moon in your 7th house of relationships. So ultimately, this is just going to bring new beginnings and endings to your house of relationships, partnerships, relationships with all people, friendships even. But let's move on to Capricorn. Capricorn, Gemini is 6 signs away from you. So this has everything to do with your lifestyle, with your service, your day-to-day routine. This has to do with your health too. We have the Hermit card coming out for you, Capricorn. So we have Virgo here, quite simply. And it's really interesting that you're going through 6th house energy because Virgo is the 6th house, Capricorn. So if there's any Virgo energy around you with this full moon, especially if you're involved with this Virgo on a daily-to-day basis, if they're part of your day-to-day routine, if they're part of your lifestyle, they're coming up. Capricorn, if this isn't a Virgo, this is isolation. So you could, this full moon, you may be feeling a little bit isolated, but this is a very wise card. The Hermit card is one of the most wisest cards in the tarot, okay? So full moon in your 6th house brings completions and new beginnings to your lifestyle. Your whole life could change. You know, so it might be good to kind of retreat and to seek inner wisdom with this light here, okay? Because the Hermit card always trusts his inner light. Time alone, Capricorn, in your own solitude, isolating yourself. And then the bottom of the deck is the 3 of Cups. So there is an indication here of a third party as well. There could be 3 people involved. Maybe one of them is a Virgo. Maybe you're isolating yourself and maybe not really wanting to, because this looks like someone's turning their back on festives. The Hermit is turning his back on this is a social energy, okay? This is a celebrating energy. The 3 of Cups, friends getting together and drinking, okay? And the Hermit is like, nah, I don't want to go out. Nah, I don't want to go have a drink. Nah, I don't want to go to the club. So Capricorn, don't be surprised if your lifestyle is changing with this full moon, okay? At least your thoughts about it. You could be turning your back on 3 people, turning your back on a situation that had to do with 3 or more people emotionally. We do have Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio here in Virgo. But I just feel like Capricorn is isolating themselves, not really wanting to be festive. Maybe you're celebrating your isolation. Maybe you're celebrating in your own solitude, Capricorn. You might be turning up by yourself, smoking by yourself. You know, this is a party of one. Okay? So your lifestyle, your health is coming up here. And you do have a decision to make, about your happiness, I see. About some kind of emotional completion. Capricorn, you have some kind of decision to make about a relationship or a home environment or something that would completely fulfill you emotionally. Some kind of decision, okay, about your own happiness. And before all that, you know, you're really isolating yourself with this full moon. Okay, because there's some changes happening to your lifestyle. Capricorn is going to be inspired to start living their life in a different way with this full moon. And you could definitely be, there could be a Virgo somewhere in the mix that's important to you. But I just want to say that there is 3 people here. This could be you, a brother, and it could be there's a third party that could potentially be affecting your relationships, okay? But the ultimate message here, I feel, is that Capricorn would rather just party alone than turn up with fake people or turn up with people they don't like or that they don't get along with. You could just be saying no to going out and celebrating. You know, this full moon, you're just not really in the celebratory mood for Christmas or Thanksgiving. So, yeah, it looks like it's just best for you to kind of isolate yourself, Capricorn, as best as you can. And, you know, retreat into your solitude. Okay, let's go to Aquarius. Aquarius, you're an air sign, so you're going to understand this Gemini energy too. And this moon is in a very pleasurable, quite literally, place for you. This is your 5th house. Whoa. Ooh. This is your 5th house. Okay, so this is all about pleasure. This is all about creativity. The 5th house is your house of children, so there could even be some completions and new beginnings regarding children, things like that. So the message I have coming out for you, though, Aquarius, is the 8 of Cups, and then the 9 of Cups did that really weird flippy thing, and it flipped in reverse. So, wow, Aquarius, there's this full moon here. So there's that Gemini full moon, and it inspires Aquarius to walk away from something. This is my walk away card, the 8 of Cups. Someone's walking away emotionally. They're walking away from something that they were emotionally invested in. They're headed on a soul journey. So this is allowing the full moon to light your path emotionally, okay? This could have to do with the Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio for sure, because we have heavy water energy here. Lots of emotion for Aquarius. You're feeling that air energy, okay? So you're going to be affected, just like Libra. But this is your 5th house, so you could be walking away from a situation, you know, in favor of your own happiness, you know, because there's something that's just not fulfilling you, Aquarius. It's like you're walking... Well, in this case, it looks like you're walking towards something that is a wish not granted, because this would be a wish fulfillment, okay? And it's in reverse. So I guess Aquarius is just inspired to walk away from things that are no longer, you know, wish fulfilling them. Like this is a wish that just didn't come true. Okay, so you're allowing that to inspire you to walk away from things that you were emotionally invested in, because this is like your cups are getting drained. Okay, there's some kind of wish that is just not being fulfilled or granted. So this full moon looks like literally new beginnings and completions. And I always say, before we can walk towards something new, we have to walk away from something old. So Aquarius, this full moon is really inspiring you guys to leave behind certain things. This is some kind of movement. Okay, maybe this is someone in your life. This doesn't have to be you, Aquarius. This could be someone walking away in your life. But ultimately, this message is, you know, if you're not fulfilled in life, Aquarius, you need to go on a soul journey. Because the 5th house, which is where this full moon is happening for you, is all about creativity, everything that you create. The 5th house is the house where you go to create, which is, you know, even children are created. Art, it's about expression, it's about your happiness. This is even about your romance. The house of romance is the 5th house. So you guys could be walking away emotionally, whether that's from jobs or home situations or relationships. I get a message here that this something is not, you don't wish for this anymore. This could be, you could be wishing to walk away. Like sometimes this is still a wish, but it's a wish to undo a wish. So maybe you guys have a wish for someone to come back. Maybe you guys have a wish to go back to someone or something like that. But it looks like you're walking away from something that you're no longer wishing for. You're no longer emotionally invested in it. We have the 10 of Wands and the 3 of Wands. So it's like waiting is a burden. Okay, there's something that you're waiting on. You've waited for these ships to come in for long enough. Maybe it's a job situation. Maybe it's a third party. But it's linked to some kind of burden. We got Aries, Sagittarius, Leo here. There's some kind of heavy weight that you need to drop. This is weight in 2 different ways. So we have weight, W-A-I-T. Weight is in waiting. And then we have weight as in W-E-I-G-H-T. So weight and weight, like it's heavy and it's taken too long. Okay, so that might be why Aquarius walks away from a job or something like that, because this is just not a wish. Aquarius is no longer wishing for this energy. So looks like this is a full moon that really moves Aquarius emotionally for some reason. There's something that Aquarius is no longer wishing for, and they just don't feel wish fulfilled. So we're going to move on to Pisces. This is the last sign of the zodiac. Pisces, this is a 4th house full moon. Okay, so Gemini squares you, if you can't tell. Squares are kind of tough, okay? You got to compromise. And this is the 4th house of home and family and roots, okay? So it has something to do with that. And we have the 7 of Cups. This is my Pisces card anyway, okay? So Pisces, this isn't going to be too scary for us because we're always in this kind of realm. This card is the card of emotional options. This is a water card, so we do have our own energy, but we could just be feeling a bit emotionally confused around this time, especially because Gemini is the 4th house of us. Maybe it's about our home. Maybe it's about our family. Maybe it's about our mothers. Maybe it's about being a mother. Maybe it's about where we're from. But we've got all these cups, so this Gemini full moon could bring a lot of options to us, Pisces, for some reason. And it's like a fantasy, okay? This is a fantasy energy, and there's all these different cups. All these cups are filled with different things, and we're really battling all the different emotions we feel. Because I feel like this is the Pisces realm of emotion. And I say battle because the bottom of the deck is the 9 of Wands. So we have a message here. We have 8, 7, and 9 actually. I thought that was 8 for a minute. So yeah, there's some kind of, we're willing to fight for this, okay? We could even be feeling a little bit defensive emotionally right now around this full moon, because this is the battle card, okay? This is someone who's been through a lot, okay? They've been through a lot. They've been through a lot of battles, but they're ready to fight again. That's why he's on guard. He's defensive because he's like, maybe this war isn't over. So there's some kind of war that Pisces has been fighting, and it involves emotional options. It involves emotional confusion. So there's lots of different cups, okay? And maybe it's about what's worth fighting for, Pisces. What one of these cups are you willing to keep fighting for? You know, these could be different people. This could be different situations. I do have the Star card here. So there's maybe an Aquarius involved for some of you, or maybe it's just some kind of inspiration or wish. But we do have the 10 of Wands. So there's some kind of inspirational burden that Pisces could be feeling. Maybe it's a heavy weight, this wish that we have or something like that. The faith that we have in this situation, it's getting really heavy. It's getting really hard to continue having faith in this situation. But nonetheless, we have an underlying energy of this battle. So I know Pisces are feeling emotionally defensive. And that's what happens when we have a 4th house moon. You know, like I said, lots of compromising. We might have to compromise certain battles. But either way, Pisces, the message for you is this 7 of Cups. So there's at least 7 different things that you're feeling. Just keep in mind that all these cups are going to initiate different emotionally responses. So you want to take a good look at everything in these cups, because some of them are filled with dangerous stuff. Some of them could potentially hurt you. So there could be cups offered to you. You know, this is the card of options. So there could be a lot of options emotionally right now, Pisces. But my best advice is to just go home. When you're going through 4th house energy, you need to go back home. And you need to think, you know what I'm saying? And for us, that's that dream realm. It's that fantasy realm of emotion. Maybe this is where Pisces is right now, because we ain't on Earth. So we're in this realm. We're just kind of going over our emotional options, and we will go to war for this. I'm hearing that. We will battle for this. We will go to war for these options. You know, just try not to be super defensive, Pisces, because we're not feeling very emotionally stable around this time secretly. And some of you guys could definitely be going through Aquarius battles, okay? Or maybe there's some kind of battle that you're trying to have faith in still, but things are getting a little heavy. We have the 9 and the 10 of Wands. So there's some kind of battle that is coming to a completion, Pisces, very soon, and we're waiting on that, okay? And it looks like we're battling our emotional confusion. That's what this looks like. Pisces is trying to battle their emotional confusion, and only a 4th house energy could do that to Pisces. Only Gemini can do that, because the 4th house makes you compromise. So we have to battle this. Usually Pisces is okay living here, breathing here, being this. But for some reason, it's time to really get clear about what we want emotionally, okay? It's time to quit battling all these emotions and just kind of let down our guard and see what this full moon brings for us. Lots of options, apparently. So before I go, I'm going to get one last card for the overall message, just in case you guys need a little bit more information if you didn't resonate. So what is the Gemini full moon message for all of us? Interesting. We have the 10 of Swords. So this is the card that Leo got. So apparently Leo is feeling into the general energy of this full moon. Okay, so all of us, this full moon, since it's mutable, that's what this is it's a mutable full moon. So this full moon is going to have more power and more magic than most moons. And plus it's the last full moon that isn't going to be an eclipse, okay? The Cancer full moon next month is going to eclipse a lot of energies out. 10 of Swords, guys, this is air. It's a completion. And it's interesting, a full moon is a completion and Gemini is air energy. So this is just spirit trying to tell us that this is really going to complete some things. This is that full moon that is really going to end some stuff. Whether it's painful, whether it involves betrayal or not, whether it involves backstabbing, you know, Geminis can be petty like that. So we can thank Gemini energy for this, for allowing this mental completion. It does look rough though, guys, I'm not going to lie, because we have the 5 of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. So, you know, there's some energy that really needs to get completed, and we need to start new beginnings, because we're feeling left out in the cold. Some of us are going to be feeling left out in the cold and backstabbed, okay? Maybe even some poverty or homelessness. But we do have the Sun card, okay? We do have the Sun card after that. So before we can get to the Sun in Sagittarius, we have to go through this mutable air full moon. We have to go through these completions of feeling alone, feeling cold. Some of us are going to be feeling like that. But look, we have the Sun to warm all that energy up. Okay, we literally have the Sun here to bring light to the situation, whatever the situation may be. But I know based off of these cards, all of us are feeling alone. All of us are feeling, you know, left out in the cold. Okay, maybe even going through some financial struggles, depending on the situation. But the card that came out, guys, is the 10 of Swords. This is the Gemini full moon message. Completions, painful completions, the ending to a painful situation. You know, let's bring this up a little bit. We do have the Sun in the back there, okay? So it's like the light at the end of the tunnel, which is Sagittarius in this scenario. It is here, guys, okay? The good thing about the 10 of Swords is that there is no 11 of Swords. After this 10 of Swords, after you get up, okay, this is a full moon. After Scorpio season, we all need to get up, take the swords out of our back, and use them for clarity, all right? It's about clarity at this point. The clarity of a painful situation that's ending. All right? Like I said, even if it involves pain. But the good thing about the Ten of Swords is that it doesn't get any worse than this, okay? After this energy passes, the light comes in, this person stands up, they take the swords out of their back, and they go to the Ace of Swords. They go to the Ace of Swords, which is the card that Aries got. So there's we have to fight for this new beginning. We have to come out of the cold. We have to come out of this victim mindset. There's some victim mindsets here. Maybe because this full moon squares Chiron. I don't know. It doesn't exactly square Chiron in Pisces, but in the Neptune, I didn't realize that. But this full moon squared Neptune and squared Chiron. It opposed Jupiter. It opposed Mercury retrograde. So if you guys were waiting on a full moon to change things, you've got the full moon that's going to change things. Okay, it's gonna end some pain for the good, and so that it can bring in some of this happiness. Okay, so it can bring in the light. So that's what I got for you guys. You know, I like Gemini energy because, you know, when it comes to Gemini energy, I just kind of say what I mean and mean what I say. So I'm wishing you guys all a happy full moon in Gemini. I hope the messages helped you guys, and I will see you next time.